This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
I think I'm safe to say, I think you would agree, that today, the times we live in today, especially politically here in the United States, we need truth tellers more than ever. When truth itself is under assault on a daily basis from the Republican Party and allies of that Republican Party, we need groups and individuals, speaking of myself, who will tell the truth, who are unafraid, who are unashamed of the realities in which we live. And Vote Vets, a progressive veterans organization, is one of these groups. I'm getting ready to play a 1-minute ad, 60-second ad that they're releasing about Donald Trump that needs more wide circulation. Follow them on Twitter if you're on Twitter, if you're on Threads. Follow this group, support this group, because this group is a group of fearless truth tellers. A lot of people will say, it doesn't matter. They're only reaching, it's an echo chamber. They're only reaching liberals and Democrats and people who are already going to vote for Joe Biden. And I don't believe that is the case. The reason I say that, the thing I'm basing that on is, I may have a tiny corner of the internet, a sliver of the internet with my show and my platform and my footprint, but I reach a lot of people. 10 million people here on YouTube every month. And I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of voicemails, I get a lot of communication in the comments from people who say, hey, listen, I, like you, used to be a Republican, and I'm just now starting to come around, and I'm embarrassed of my vote, and they're looking in a different direction for leadership now. So I know, or I'm convinced of the fact that there are still some percentage of Republicans who were previously, maybe even recently, supporting Donald Trump, who are no longer, who are starting to have the scales fall from their eyes, to use a biblical reference, and are starting to join us in reality, in understanding that the person by whom they were bamboozled is not who they thought he was. A little late coming around, yeah, I would agree with that, but better late than never, right? So groups like Vote Vets are actually doing great work to help people who consider themselves patriots or military-minded or whatever come around to that fact. First, let me play this ad for you, and then let's talk about it a little, some of the contents, talk about the contents on the other side. Watch this.
Trader Trump is up with his first political ad for 2024, and guess who he's trying to buddy up to?
As commander-in-chief, he always had his soldiers' backs.
Wait, what? This Donald Trump? The one who called service members losers and said the fallen were suckers for not dodging the draft like he did? The one who never understood service and sacrifice?
I like people that weren't captured, okay?
And mocked a veteran who'd been wounded in war?
Was always there to support them and their families.
Except when he shut down the government and put military pay at risk.
And to never forget about them after they served.
No, Donald Trump tried to cut VA staff veterans count on. Trump has mocked the military his whole life. We can't let him win again.
He always had his soldiers' backs.
Oh, and next time you address a Marine, don't call him a soldier.
Being a former United States Marine, I like the little dig at the end there. Look, in only 60 seconds, you don't have much time, certainly. And there's a lot more they could have included in this, up to and including the times that the many times he went on with Howard Stern in the 90s and the 2000s, talking about how dodging sexually transmitted diseases was his own personal Vietnam. They didn't even talk about the multiple times he dodged the draft because of his bone spurs when he was called to serve his country and he was too rich and connected to serve. They didn't get into any of that. But the American people need truth-telling organizations like this. They need the truth about this particular maniac who claims to support things he does not, who thinks that, like they said, the suckers and losers comment. And look, these comments aren't coming from liberals who are in opposition to Donald Trump. They're coming from people who chose to serve in the Donald Trump administration. John Kelly, people like this. So again, these are the organizations that are doing good work. We need to join them. We need to do what kind of work we can do, whether that be directly for vote vets, whether that be through political contributions to organizations like this. But the truth needs to be told for the sake of the country, first and foremost, and secondarily, for that group of Americans who may be on the fence and whose support for Donald Trump might be starting to evaporate right before our eyes. And it's no more needed right now than ever, and maybe leading into the election, we can make a dent and secure that win for Joe Biden. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. If you appreciate what I do, if you like the content, the cut of my jib, makes me sound like a 6'3", 265-pound leprechaun, does it not? The cut of my jib. Please consider supporting my work as I ramble off into the distance here. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month. You can hit the super thanks button. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All those are great ways to help support the work we do here on this channel and on the podcast and everywhere that my footprint takes me. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter and Instagram and Threads and TikTok and Facebook and Blue Sky, all of them at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. Until I see you next time, be genuine. Take care of one another.